'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years alive. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, got it! Oh, yeah.
Yep. Joe?
Ready.
Rolling.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic podcast number 1617. I hope I'm correct on that. No one.
You
asked,
are.
Yes,
Yep.
thank you. September 11, it was 24 years ago today that we had one sea change. We had another sea change yesterday. It was 96 degrees on this day in 1895 and also in 1931, and as chilly as 35 degrees in 1962. Call Josh Arnold at 952-925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Haidt in the newsroom, and of course, the Rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
From Joe Geegan in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Humanity is on the wrong trajectory. That's all. That's the message. Good luck. Always pushing back. Joe Geegan, Colorado Springs, Colorado. You know what I feel like?
What do you feel like? Here, I got it.
I feel like I'm a P-E-A, and I'm under one of 3 cups that are constantly being moved around, and I don't know which cup I'm under.
Like the shell game.
That's what I was referring to. And I really.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, just what I said. I don't believe anything anymore. I don't believe we have a government. I believe we have some sort of organization. And we're all bit players. I feel like a sap today. We're all bit players in something that we don't understand. For example, this horrible assassination of Charlie Kirk will be passed off as, I don't know what it'll be passed off as, but I don't think it's too early. It probably violates the 72-hour rule, but it clearly seems to me that was done with some proficiency and technological expertise that requires a great deal of thinking. The shooter is probably either back in one of the stand countries by now, or Chechnya or Bulgaria. I'm not being facetious. They're not going to find this guy drinking coffee at a college student coffee shop in Salt Lake City. This was clearly a guy in the prone sniper position, 200 yards away, who took one perfect shot. It was so perfect the bullet was destined for his heart, but it ricocheted off a bulletproof vest that Kirk was wearing and ricocheted into his carotid artery. This was a hell of a shooter. This was not this disturbed young fellow who stood outside Annunciation and didn't know what to do, so he just started shooting blindly through the windows, even though both of them apparently have scrawled certain messages on their ammunition. Maybe that's the current fad now. If you're going to shoot innocents, you're going to scrawl fascist and God knows what on the bullets. This was what we will be sold the idea that this wasn't some professional, would be my suspicion. We'll be sold the idea that, here's another shooting by a disturbed character. To me, this was a pro hit.
200 yards away.
And it was done with extreme skill. And the why is where we're just peas under 3 cups being shuffled around. We don't know why. I've done a lot of reading about Charlie Kirk in the last 24 hours, and all I can come up with is that much of what he says I agree with, much of what he says I don't agree with, but that's life. I don't feel any need to shoot anybody because I don't agree with them. So what's really going on here? That's the question we're forced to ask ourselves when you see the proficiency with which this was done. What really is going on here?
What's under attack is nuance.
What do you mean?
There's no more room for having a discussion with somebody that you disagree with. If you disagree with them, they must be eliminated.
Well,
that's what's under attack.
I see that as partly what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I have no idea. For example, I could be wrong. I'm violating my own 72-hour rule. But let's say, for the sake of argument, this was a professional, a highly skilled, trained professional whose fee for this was, say, $500,000, and you better have a jet waiting for me, and I'll take care of it. Okay, then who paid for it and why?
Okay, that was my question. And why is this 31-year-old a target? There are other bigger targets out there. Not everybody knew who Charlie Kirk was.
I mean, if Alex Jones hasn't been shot at, why this guy?
That's
Charlie was not a crackpot. Again, there's many things he says I don't agree with, but I can live with that. There's many things he says that I do. What he apparently loved to do, and he had really carved out a niche for himself, he loved to go on college campuses where he knew he would not be liked. He knew he would not be wanted, and he sat there and took the abuse of people who questioned him, and he would respond. And I didn't see him respond with any uncivility, and he had carved out quite a living for himself doing this. And apparently there was a petition at this University of Utah Valley, or whatever it's called, UVU, Utah Valley University, that he was unwanted there. That apparently never stopped him in all the occasions he was unwanted. He was scheduled to appear here next week. And I'm sure that the same group of people would have shown up and given him a lot of grief. And he seemed to handle that. He seemed to enjoy these confrontations. Probably sometimes he was converting people, sometimes he wasn't. But I didn't see him as an evil force in America that needed to be eliminated. So therefore, who eliminated him and why?
What makes you think it was a professional? I have not read that. This is the first time hearing that speculation.
Here we have the assassin who gunned down Charlie Kirk with a single precise shot on a Utah campus, was almost certainly a trained professional who may take years to catch. A former FBI chief has warned. Chris Swecker, who served as assistant FBI director in the 2000s, said that everything about the Wednesday shooting at Utah Valley University suggested a calculated and methodical operation rather than the chaotic violence that America has grown grimly accustomed to.
All right.
Yeah.
that answers my
Does
question.
you personally, you don't think that was done professionally?
It wasn't clumsy.
I you know what? I can't speculate. I'm not in a position to speculate. I know guys, non-professionals, that take 200-yard shots and are effective on deer, elk, moose,
I
etc.
understand that, and
I'm not debating you, Joe.
No, I
I'm
understand,
just-
and you're
yeah.
correct there.
Yeah.
But it was a 200-yard shot through people. It was an amazing shot.
Yeah.
It was through people.
From what I've read, it's a 30 cal Mauser, a bolt action. You know, a hunting rifle, or in this case, sniper rifle.
Do any of you? Why is my mic not turning on? There we go. Do any of you feel the way I do? I told Joe when I walked in today, folks, I think we're on the brink of civil war.
Well, I would put it this way: we're unraveling quickly.
To whom?
I don't know that we're on the brink of a civil war because I don't know who the two warring parties would be.
Right.
Look at all of the people that were out there celebrating his death yesterday, and there were many. I mean,
Facebook
many,
got
many,
ugly.
many, many, many.
Okay, let's take care of that and get it off the table. The social medias are an eternal, empty, echoing swamp. And yes, they were full of deranged people celebrating this and saying really ridiculous things. That is an outgrowth of learning who we have among us. And we're only learning who we have among us because of the availability of everyone owning one of these telephones and can click on and reveal to us who they are. And just, what you have to do to have peace in your life is you just got to let that go.
But Joe, I know that's easy for someone like you to say.
Why is it easy for me to say?
Because the vast majority of the 18 to 30-year-old, that's their news source. I'm not saying I agree with it. What I'm trying to say to you is this has become the now cesspool platform in which the vast majority of the middle-aged individual relies on information.
He's correct, Joe. And
No,
you
I know.
can't discount that. Even though I agree with you, it's part of the situation.
Well, it's also very telling and symptomatic of the decline of moral and ethical integrity.
100%.
In a sound world where people still had belief and faith and moral upbringing and had a sense of integrity, you wouldn't see those kinds of posts. Those are the posts written by people who are soulless. They have no respect for life. They don't care. And it's obscene. It's an obscenity in American culture, American culture is just tattered and shattered. Don't forget, just prior to Kirk being shot, about a half hour prior, at Evergreen High School in Evergreen, Colorado,
Yeah.
3 teenagers were shot. They remain in critical condition. The shooter shot himself. We're unraveling. Last night in Tampa, Florida, at 2 a.m., 6 shot, police responding. And the only answer I hear from people is we must get rid of guns. Wouldn't that be wonderful, too? It would be delightful.
It's a fantasy.
It'd be delightful, but there are more guns in the United States than people. Plus, if you only concentrate on the guns, that's tantamount to saying, I'm willing to live in this craziness so long as I don't get shot.
Well, and I guess that's part of what I was trying to get at, because it's one thing for the vast majority of these politicians on both sides of the aisle saying we need to calm this down. But you know what doesn't help is when a sitting governor and a candidate for vice president says this. Or
No,
you don't want to play that
I don't
now?
want to play it.
You sure?
Yeah, I do. We're aware of it. That was Governor Walz in Duluth on Labor Day making jokes about hoping he'd wake up and discover the news of Trump's demise.
But how does that not fuel this anger and this hatred?
Well, what doesn't fuel it? That's the problem. What doesn't fuel it? There's no regulator. There's no one has a governor on their own thinking. It's if you have a culture absent of all moral and ethical integrity, you have become soulless and anything goes. Now back to what I thought was interesting. I'm choosing to believe, and again, Kenny's smarter than I am. He's not violating the 72-hour rule. I am. To me, this was an extraordinarily professional operation. And I'm betting it was someone paid to do it, someone who was immediately evacuated. And I want to know, I don't know which cup I'm under as they're being shuffled around on the tabletop. I want to know who did that and why. Kirk was not so... what's the word I want? He was not so powerful that his words needed to be stopped. There are many people in the public media who are far more strident than Charlie Kirk.
Right.
Far more strident. So what was the deal? What's the deal? Who hired him? Why? What do they hope to gain? I didn't want to go conspiracy route, but this is begging for it. This was a pro. This wasn't the kid at Evergreen High School in Colorado who shot himself. This wasn't this kid outside Annunciation Church 2 weeks ago yesterday. This was a pro hit.
Is there an analogy to be made about what happened yesterday with Charlie Kirk and what took place in Pennsylvania with President Trump? Because the reason I bring it up is the settings were somewhat similar, and basically we learned nothing about that shooter in that particular case. Everything was scrubbed about his existence on social media and every other walk of life, and we learned nothing about him.
Which shell are you under? See, that's my problem.
Yeah.
What shell are we under? I don't know what to believe, who to believe, or if I should believe anything. I don't believe we're governed. I believe we're organized and kept watch over.
Yeah, we're ruled.
We're ruled.
Yeah.
And it's a lonely, haunting, eerie feeling. I don't know who's running the show.
List for me top 3 possibilities. Just, you're not pointing your finger at them. Who could 3 entities be that could keep people quiet and pull this off and are well funded enough to keep people's mouths shut?
The off-the-grid billionaires, the people you don't hear about every day, not Musk, not Bezos.
What's their motivation?
That's what shell are you under? See?
Controlling money.
We don't
Well,
have a money problem.
Well, let's go down that road. Let's go down that road.
Well, we're in the tin foil hat.
I want to
here.
be, because
Okay,
that's where
all
we
right.
are.
All right.
That's where we are. CIA comes to mind. Mossad comes to mind. Russia comes to mind.
But even them, who takes who at the CIA is? Who are they taking their orders from? It's not
It's
themselves.
not the director of the Central Intelligence Agency.
No.
Well, who would say?
I think we're going far afield here, Joe.
All right,
Who would say we need to kill Charlie Kirk?
Okay, let's look at it from.
What about Soros?
I think Matthew's making a point, Joe, and I think it's a madman is your answer, Matthew.
Soros, okay. Soros.
No. It's
A madman shooter.
Is this like a Bond film?
Okay, let's.
until I'm told otherwise, Joe. I'm going with that. It's a single shooter, single motive, one guy, and that's it.
Okay.
But
Okay, well, here, I think I can bring it back to somewhat of a non-tinfoil hat situation. Well, how would this shooting play into more serious laws affecting gun control?
how many times have you heard me say that once they take the scary-looking firearms away, they're coming for your deer rifles? And that's what this is. It's a deer rifle. My son shoots the same thing, different caliber.
I mean, would the left organize this in order to compel more gun control? Would the right organize this to make the left look obscene and put the left out of business? What shell am I under?
You're adding more than 3 shells.
Have you seen
I get 3. I just don't know which one I'm under.
I don't know either.
Have you seen the security cam footage of the suspected shooter?
Yes.
Okay. That's just wondering.
Well, do you see him running across the roof?
I did not see that footage. No, I did not see
And down the convenience stairwell and into the waiting black car that took him to the airport. That's my scene. I don't know that happened.
I haven't seen the footage. What does the footage show?
Well, you just see a guy get up from his prone perch and scamper across the rooftop and disappear.
It's very similar to this rooftop that was in Pennsylvania. That's why I made the analogy.
I want to come back to Pennsylvania in a moment, but first I want to tell you. Go ahead, Kenny.
Wait, here's where I'm at. I'm like you. Just I don't know what side is up and what side is down. I'm willing to believe anything at this point. That's how outrageous our world has gotten.
Kenny, you know where I'm at in all seriousness? I want to drive grain cart. I don't want to watch a single second of news, and I want to be left alone.
And I don't want to come down on you again, Joe, but I think Chris had a really, really good, as much as I hate Chris, he had a really good point.
What was the point that
with the walls thing?
That rhetoric has got to stop.
All right, go ahead.
It's rhetoric like
I've
that.
been talked into it. If you want to play it.
Let's play it when we come back, because I'm assuming you're sticking with this
Well, I was going to tell
topic.
you about Sioux Falls. Maybe things are more peaceful there. Certainly a better job market than we're finding around here locally. And if you're thinking about building a new business or expanding your current business or relocating your business, I would think you might want to consider Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Large, well-educated workforce, cost of living is low, centrally located, developed industrial parks, cost of doing business is, you can handle it. You can contact the Sioux Falls Development Foundation. They provide the resources you need. Maybe it'll make you realize you can stop searching for a perfect business site and start growing in Sioux Falls. Voted #1 best small city for business and careers by Forbes magazine. It's the state's largest city with a metro population of nearly 300,000. Sioux Falls has high quality of life and no state, corporate, or personal income tax, no inheritance tax, no limits to what your business can achieve while we can still do business. Go to SiouxFallsDevelopment.com.
It's the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
Here it is, Positive Thursday. All right. That means today is brought to us by Schoonover Body Works and Auto Care there in Shoreview, where they've been for many, many years, 1060 County Road E. Mike is third generation Schoonover. He's at the helm, and he's also on the phone with us today. Good afternoon, Mike.
Good afternoon, fellas.
I talked to a guy last week who said, aren't they still on Snelling somewhere? No, that was about in the 1930s, wasn't it?
1973 to be exact.
Yeah.
A little different approach today. Instead of talking about the business or even play for Patrick, Mike had a pretty good idea, and I thought it was worth following. What are you thinking here, Mike?
Well, Kenny, it's hard to be it's hard to be positive today, but we need to figure out how we can be positive and maybe do something with the 24th anniversary of 9/11 and what happened to Charlie Kirk yesterday and all the things that have taken place over the last week. You know, the Annunciation Catholic school shooting and the young lady down in Charlotte and all the things that are just happening. I just think that I think when I woke up today, I was just really, really, really sad, and it was hard to think about doing a spot today. But I think a good way for us GLers and for everybody, all your listeners, and for us is to keep on moving forward. And making a positive situation out of everything that's going on. And I think you guys have been talking the last couple of weeks, or Joe has been talking about the Frontline Foundation. What better way to make today better than to donate to that organization, to help that organization out, which you're helping EMS, you're helping law enforcement, you're helping the National Guard, all those people who run towards the bad stuff, you know, when the shit hits the fan, these are the folks that they step up and they go, while we're all running away, they're running towards it. So
you know what else, Mike? They're getting busier.
Exactly. So I you know, heart screenings and auto body and auto care stuff aside, let's throw some money towards something good today, and let's do better, and let's put our money where our mouth is. Because if we're going to just sit around and feel sorry for ourselves, well, let's get online and let's use that GoFundMe, or not the
Frontline Give Minnesota
Frontline Foundation. Yeah, the Give Minnesota link that you guys have on the website, and let's give. I think I'm sorry to say, but I thought I saw it. There's $325 in there right now.
I can count the donors on one hand, Mike, 5, and I'm going to be honest with you. I'm ashamed, and I think we need to support these folks because, like you said, they're the real heroes. They're the ones that are keeping us safe. They're the ones that are trying to keep us alive when we're down. They need our help.
GarageLogic.com/donate.
Or givemn.org/story/GLer support. Either way, you'll end up at this Give Minnesota website.
So GLers, let's get thousands of dollars in there today. Let's do it. Let's do the right thing, and let's make it a positive Thursday by helping these folks that help others when times are tough.
So many firefighters, so many sheriffs, deputies, police officers from around the state, around the area, Minneapolis, St. Paul. They're all GLers. Firefighters, the same thing, ambulance, medics. I just love if we could show them some support, give back the support that they've given us over the years.
GarageLogic.com/donate. First responders.
Meanwhile, Mike,
GLers.
Yeah, thank you very much. And if you do have anything auto-related, the official shop of Garage Logic, it's SchoonoverBodyWorks.com.
Boy, do I got a guy that's really happy with what you guys did on a brand new Mercedes-Benz. A moron had a dent in it all summer, and I finally convinced him to take that thing to Schoonover's. Bing, bang, boom, it looks new. It took him one day. It's fantastic.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, guys. Have a great one. Take care.
Thanks. Yeah, you can play Walls. This is Walls on Labor Day.
You get up in the morning and you doom scroll through things, and although I will say this, the last few days you woke up thinking there might be news. Just saying. There will be news sometime, just so you know, there will be news.
Okay, that's just Walls being Walls.
He's referring to the online, what would you call it? There was a thread about Trump possibly being in grave danger.
Right.
That's what he was talking about.
But here's, I think what that tells us is just what kind of guy he is, but we knew that. But unfortunately, it seems pretty clear that he intends to run again. And I think the only reason he would is that he has no other options. I think the options he faces in life are to retire and start collecting one of his 7 pensions, or just keep working, if you call this work.
He does not get a gubernatorial pension.
He does not have any job prospects. The world has, I think, gratefully, the country has awakened to what a poor choice he would make for anything, much less we're stuck with him. So he's stuck here, and if you vote for him, you're either an idiot or you're somehow employed by the government and taken care of by him. But it's a shame. It's a shame. I hope he's defeated soundly, but that's why he's running again. The people of this country hear that stuff, and they know he's a buffoon, and he doesn't have a future in national politics.
Because we try to avoid whataboutism all the time. But do you guys remember anybody celebrating the fact that Melissa Hortman and her husband were shot dead?
Well, of course not.
I don't.
Of course not. No one celebrates death. It shouldn't be done.
Well, it was happening a lot yesterday.
Well, again, that's if you want to expose yourself to the underbelly of America as it expresses itself on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, that's what you're going to find.
But that's what I'm saying, Joe. I didn't see any of that after Hortman.
Well, I would hope not. Yeah, great. I'm glad there wasn't. It's just it's pathetic. I'm sticking with the belief that someone with the power to do so made this happen yesterday, and we don't know why, and we don't know. Now I'm violating my 72-hour rule. If this is some rube from Butterfink, Utah, who just got lucky with a shot, then I'm wrong. But I have a feeling that we're being played. We've had that growing feeling in Garage Logic over the past year. We're being played somehow. We're not governed. We're just extras in a large movie, and we have no idea who's directing it or what the point is.
What role does the media play with that very thing? There's a reason I'm asking.
Extraordinarily significant. And the reason this Charlie Kirk murder is so plastered everywhere in the news is that there's nothing the media likes more than to write about themselves.
Because yesterday, the Star Tribune really stepped into it.
Mm-hmm. I'm unaware of that. I didn't read their online stuff yesterday.
Yesterday afternoon, maybe early evening, the woman that we've referred to a couple of times in the show, Dina Fay Winter, published a piece that appeared online, then was subsequently taken off of their website and on their social media accounts. And here's the headline, and I'll let you decipher for yourself. Mm-hmm. You're a journalist, I am not. This was from the Star Tribune's Twitter account. The conservative activist shot Wednesday has been lobbying Islamophobic attacks at Minneapolis mayoral candidate Omar Fateh since mid-July.
So have I.
Insinuating that that's justifiable for why he was shot. In my opinion.
I had hopes for her, but that's here.
Because I think the media really showed its true colors yesterday with this story.
A couple of them have already been fired, haven't they?
And so the Star Tribune should do the right thing and let go of this woman, too, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
That was shameful what she produced yesterday.
I haven't read it. I didn't read
it. Not nearly as glaring. I every day I go to the Minnesota Reformer. they did their best to bury the story on the front page, while every single other news outlet in the world had glaring headlines. I thought that was interesting. Probably apropos of nothing. But.
I do think there has to be a change just in protocol. I am tired of the media getting away with labeling anything they don't like as right wing.
Yep.
You're right.
And I never see it referred to as left wing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing is ever referred to as left wing. And I think we'll start on this show to do that. We'll make sure that I refer to something as left wing if I'm sensing that's what it is.
Well, let me correct myself right now. Left wing, left leaning Minnesota reformer. Mm-hmm. That's who I'm talking about. Left leaning Star Tribune.
Because everything in the world, we're certainly the media is very eager to point out to us that this comes to you from a right wing.
Yeah,
right wing activist Charlie Kirk was scheduled to appear here next week. Well, if it's left wing Whoopi Goldberg coming to town, it should be left wing Whoopi Goldberg
or conservative or liberal.
It's their way of I don't know if it's a word, but delegitimizing whatever it is. That's how they do it.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's unraveling so quickly, and I think there's going to be an awakening. I think it's human nature, I think, to find answers. If there's a ray of hope, I think whoever's running this organization that we live under is going to be revealed. I don't know how this has knocked 9/11 out of the news. Today's the 24th anniversary of September 11, 2001. There's not a mention. There's barely a mention of it anywhere.
I saw a couple of tributes this morning, but you're right. Yeah.
I resisted and continue to. Every single conspiracy theory that's come up about 9/11, I've resisted every one.
Oh, there's so many at this point.
Some of them are
so
ridiculous.
Ludicrous.
But some of them are enough to make me think now, I don't know what I believe.
But
I don't believe the government did it because the government couldn't keep its mouth shut that long.
But could they?
I don't think so.
Because you always talk about who's running it, who's the puppet master.
There's too many whistleblowers, Chris.
Yeah, there's no way. But it is odd the way one of the buildings. Well, I don't want to go there.
Yeah,
but don't you think, Joe, that there's so many people, and I put myself in this camp. We are so freaking tired of this crap. We're so tired of being manipulated. We're so tired of being lied to. We're so tired of being taken advantage of. Yeah. We're so tired of every aspect of our life has been infiltrated by government. I want to be left alone. I want to raise my kids, and I just want to be.
We've often said on this show, this goes back, I don't know, 5 or 6 tragedies ago. I can't even remember which one it was. But we said, can't anything just be what it is?
Just be.
No, let me finish. Can't anything just be what it is? I would love to think, well, that's the wrong way to say it. I would be relieved to think that this was just another madman on the loose who just decided to shoot somebody in public. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that's what this is.
Yep, I don't either.
I don't believe it. I believe this is something far more intense, and I don't know what it is.
What do you, now that we've had more than 72 hours?
We haven't.
With the Trump attempted assassination in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
What do you think that is?
I think that, let me interrupt just for a second, Joe. I think that right there is a good reason that led you to your thinking today, Joe.
Yep, me too.
How little we know about all of that.
Well, his parents have remained silent. The family of the fellow who died, I want you to look up something. Was it a fireman who got shot?
Yes.
Did the wife of the fireman shot at what town was that in Pennsylvania?
Dang it, hang on.
Was the wife of the fireman shot during the Trump assassination attempt? You with me so far? Given $1 million.
Oh, I never heard that.
Because I heard that and read it,
Was it Butler, Pennsylvania?
Yes, and I don't trust anything anymore that I hear or read unless I'm satisfied with its verification. So
I know the wife of Corey comparatory.
Yep.
The volunteer firefighter killed during the assassination attempt did not receive $1 million from an official source. However, a Florida lawyer, Dan Newland, did donate $1 million to their family.
Okay. Which might have been just because he was a good soul.
Right.
So that doesn't play into any kind of conspiracy. What does is...
Okay, let me just go further. A separate official GoFundMe campaign was organized by a longtime Florida GOP fundraiser and had raised nearly $5 million for the families of both the deceased and injured July 16th, 2024. So that's
25.
No, it was happened in 2024.
Oh, it was 20. Okay.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Well, the only part that's disturbing about that is if you're going to suggest some sort of, well, I might as well go full
Do it.
tinfoil hat.
Might as well.
The guy yesterday was able to kill Kirk without hurting anyone else. The guy that shot at Trump was apparently not very proficient, and he killed somebody else while just grazing Trump.
I would call him lobbing shots.
Yeah.
That's what we call it, lobbing shots.
So to buy into something dreadful about the attempt on Trump, you'd have to buy into the notion that whoever organized it was willing to see other people die.
But
In addition to Trump, they were willing to see other people die, which unfortunately happened to an innocent guy in the crowd.
2 points on that. Remember when Trump was at the podium, he moved his head slightly to whichever direction, and it missed his head by a fraction of an
Yeah, I
inch
think he turned to the right.
and hit his
correct.
ear. Otherwise, had that fraction of an inch head
That would have
turn
been a headshot.
not hurt exactly, it would have been a headshot.
Oh, and the other guy wouldn't have been killed.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
We are very far afield.
Wow.
I don't think we are in the sense that
Nothing should be trusted.
The American public today is entirely justified in not believing very much.
I couldn't agree more.
Entirely justified in not believing very much.
The tinfoil hat regime is over. It's over. I'm sorry.
It's not reality.
We're in
Conspiracy is reality.
We're now in that reality, 100%.
And it has you going back, way, way, way back, decades and decades, wondering just what was real, and what we've been sold all these many years.
What we've been sold, Kenny, but also what we've been exposed to.
That moon landing was on a movie set, man.
Okay, let's calm down there.
Well, Joe, I mean, everything is open for discussion.
There's
at this
life
point.
on Mars. We found bacteria.
Well, there's an article in the paper today about that.
I know. That's why I
It's
brought
just-
it up.
It's coming up next.
We've gone so insane that I'm questioning everything.
And I think you're entirely justified to, and I think people who don't question everything should. That's a good way to look at modern life today, whether it's in Minnesota or elsewhere. What should you be satisfied with? What right now what at this moment do you have to be satisfied with?
J.J. McCarthy.
Privacy.
Lord.
You don't have any privacy.
Well,
Everything's spying on you.
You don't have
put
any privacy.
When you put it with that tone, you're right. I don't. None. I don't know, Joe.
I'll be satisfied with your garage door. You can be. Precision Doors got a deal right now. Before I tell you about the new doors, let me tell you about the deal. The Noisy Door Tune-Up Special. This is brilliant. For $149, that's almost they're giving you a $300 value. It's a 25-point safety inspection and diagnostic, full garage door tune-up, and rollers replaced with ultra-quiet rollers. If your garage door is making noises, you got to take care of it. Otherwise, you're going out there this winter at 10 below and she ain't going to go up or down. And in the event that your garage door is beyond salvation, they have new doors available, models for every budget. A garage door designer comes out for free, and you end up with a new door out of the deal. This is all from Precision Door. And do it now while the weather's agreeable. You don't want to be wrestling with this in cold, wet, rainy, or snowy weather. So get a hold of Precision Door. Get ahead of the maintenance problem. That'll reduce future wear and breakdowns. Get a hold of Precision Door at Precision Door MN, one word, precisiondoormn.com, or call Precision Door at 612-263-6985 and either book that noisy door appointment or schedule your free on-site new door estimate.
Here's a man who spends hours in hardware stores, sifting through the nuts and bolts of life. Joe Souchere.
If I've learned anything from my wrenching nephews, the twins, or my son, that if you have questions about anything in the shop, the garage, your engine, the answers can be found on the internet. All the answers, all of life's problems in the shop can be found on the internet. That includes Seafoam, seafoamworks.com, and how exactly you're going to use the Seafoam engine treatment to clean your fuel injectors. Don't ask me. I love carburetors, and I don't know anything about injectors, but go ahead and ask seafoamworks.com. It's the official website. It's full of fantastic info on all the various uses of all the various products that Seafoam sells. The other page is their YouTube page. That's where we all end up these days anyway, YouTube. Go to YouTube/Seafoam Official. You'll see a wide variety of fixes. The motor treatment, we all know this. It really is a miracle cure for a wide variety of pesky issues. It keeps gas fresh, yeah, but it also keeps the carburetor clean, all the jets clean, the ports in the engine, down in the oil pan, the crank, everything. It just really, it's a mechanic in a can is what it is. It's really good. And if you want information on how it cleans your injectors, diesel or gasoline, go to seafoamworks.com. It's a GLer's friend. It's available everywhere, and it's a solid local company with a global reach and a true miracle in a world of bad gas. It's Seafoam.
And what would be normally Johnny Heights' new sponsor, we'd like to thank our friends at North American Banking Company.
This idea of wondering who is really pulling the strings, that hasn't started with Trump. That did start, at least in its most modern era, with Biden. Recall, we always were wondering who's running the show because it became clear that Biden wasn't. It was all they could do to walk him down to the beach and get him in a beach chair. he seriously. We
Why
all
are we
knew.
laughing? Yeah.
We all knew.
birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Alan. Happy
Thank you,
birthday to
And
you.
evidently, Kamala has admitted as much in a new book.
Well, she's such a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Did you get your copy yet?
I don't want a copy.
Okay.
So this began during the Biden administration. Come on, who's really running the show here? Then Trump gets elected, and we inherited, along with Trump, a reinvigorated Epstein investigation, an Epstein controversy. And maybe somebody else said this, but I'll use it. What if the people who control the Epstein files are the people really running the show?
Whoa.
Because the Epstein files, in their worst case scenario, would reveal that we've been pawns to a group of pedophiles, dreadful, evil human beings who are pedophiles, and they're just shameful enough to not want that revealed to the world. And they're able to control this with these tantalizing little bits of information that keeps coming out, every other day. So with Biden, it was clear, just looking at Biden, that he wasn't running anything. What?
Oh boy.
You going deep?
I had zero idea you were going here today.
Okay.
I'm up here in the shallow end of the pool. You guys go ahead down there.
Do you are aware of one of Charlie Kirk's big talking points, correct?
I probably am not. Was he an Epstein talker?
Yes, but claimed that Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent.
Well, I've heard that before, not from Kirk.
But I'm just saying that was one of his big talking points recently. And again, I had no idea that that's where you were going today.
Neither did I. So let me continue.
Sorry for interrupting.
So,
Jesus.
So with Biden, it became clear because we could see Biden, we could hear him. It was tangible evidence that Joe clearly was not capable.
They were asking us to disbelieve what we clearly saw with our own eyes.
Exactly.
Something you've been saying for years and years and years.
Exactly. So now along came Trump. And with Trump, we inherited, probably because the media was going soft on it during the Biden administration, but we inherited the Epstein controversy. And I keep saying we'll never know anything about the Epstein controversy because there are too many powerful people who are going to make sure we don't. And maybe it's those people who are running Biden and are running Trump. And I'm willing to believe that Trump is not that dissimilar to the rest of us in the sense that he is being controlled. He is being run, and he might not even know where it's coming from, or maybe he does. Biden was being run. We are not governed. We are being run. Someone's running us.
One of the differences I'd like to bring up between the two of them, though, is that to me it seems like Biden has been willing to be run for most of his political career. If you go back and look at the footage and read, you'll say that Biden would say absolutely anything.
Right.
And it would change from year to year. Trump, I think, has too much ego, or he's too proud to be knowingly run by somebody.
I know, but he'll change his mind from day to day, too, and say anything. So where are we? I know what you mean.
Yeah.
Trump would like us to believe he's his own man and no one's going to run him. Let's put it that way. Biden didn't even know what that meant.
Yeah, Trump has, let's dumb it way down. Trump has a pair. Biden was smooth down there.
Yeah. That's one way to look at it. I lost my train of thought with the smooth image. Where was I going?
You were talking about who's running the country. Who's running us? Where are we going here? What the hell is going on?
Comparing the
Give
two.
me my hat.
Yeah, and a byproduct of those two being run, or both Republicans and Democrats being run, is the lot of us being run. And here we are out in flyover country, bickering with each other about which party is better. And I think we're right where they want us. They want us arguing over nonsense.
Divided.
That way we're not focused on who the great evil person is behind
We're
the
not
curtain.
even focused or remembering September 11th, 2001 today.
Right.
We're not even doing that.
Right.
But it's clear, as Kenny just said, I don't think we're ever going to have that moment again, not only as a society, but most notably as a country. We're never going to have that moment again where we're unified.
Let me turn to some emails I've selected from GLers. Not necessarily all of them on the murder of Charlie Kirk, but they're all germane to what we've been discussing. Downing is a frequent offsite correspondent. He notes that yesterday we pointed out the horrible stabbing of this young woman on a train in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that no one did anything. No one lifted a finger. And Downing notes regarding people recording someone dying and offering aid. We all heard years ago about the case of Kitty Genovese and how no one helped while she was raped and murdered. That was a famous case in New York where a woman named Kitty Genovese in an apartment complex that was kind of horseshoe-shaped, you could hear her cries for help, and no one intervened. And I think Jimmy Breslin probably wrote columns about that, Pete Hamill. But that was in the 60s. And that was a historical, significant moment in the country that people were shocked that this could happen to Kitty Genovese, and no one helped. But you can look up her name, Rook, Kitty Genovese, Genovese, very famous case.
March 13th, 64, 28-year-old bartender was raped and stabbed to death outside the apartment building where she lived in the Kew Gardens neighborhood of Queens.
Mm-hmm. And no one helped. People looked out their window and closed the drapes.
The New York Times published an article claiming that 37 witnesses saw or heard the attack and that none of them called the police or came to her aid.
Julia Johnson, a great friend of the show, admits the evilness such as the senseless murders at Annunciation and of Charlie Kirk. The good Lord remains all-loving, all-powerful, and all-knowing. In fact, we have no choice to believe this, or we have no hope. I'll ask for slight grace in attempting to reveal a glimpse of God's knowledge, though. Choosing the liberty of paraphrasing Mother Teresa's words. I think she'd approve of me doing that. A society who does not cherish life has lost its soul. I do not disagree with that. Let's see. Get to Bert here. A couple of emails that were particularly focused on John Haidt, who conveniently enough took today off. Apparently, I don't even recall it, but apparently Charlie Kirk came up about a month ago and Haidt was dismissive of him. Okay.
But not to the fact. Not to the point
I don't
where
think he was
wants...
calling for his end.
No, of course not. Don't ascribe that to John. That's not fair.
Bill writes, let me get this straight. Ilhan Omar, a Muslim, is married to a guy who holds part ownership in a winery that presumably manufactures beverages containing alcohol. I wonder if that tells us anything about our lack of devotion to principle. Because you're Muslims, they ain't supposed to like the John Barleycorn.
Right.
Right.
I wonder if she owns a pig farm somewhere in southern Minnesota.
Do you see there's a guy in Houston, a Muslim, who's been hectoring stores to quit selling pork and alcohol because that does not subscribe to Sharia law?
Shop somewhere else, pal. Beat it.
That's been happening at places all over the country. And let's just say a gentleman tried pulling that off in Houston, Texas.
This was in Houston, I was saying.
No. There was one. I thought you were referring to the one here.
No, I didn't know it was happening.
Yeah, there was
here.
one. I thought you were referring to the one that was in
No, it
Minneapolis.
was in Houston.
Yeah.
It's like going down to Austin or Worthington.
I thought you were talking because that just happened a couple of days ago, Joe. That's the one I thought you were referring to.
No.
Gotcha.
And the mink weighs in.
Yes, sir.
We've been talking about this extraordinary tax increase that both Minneapolis and St. Paul is facing, due in large part to the failure to be governed properly.
Exactly.
And I said, the one thing they never consider is cutting spending. They never do.
Never.
Well, the mink has a good point. I think, and he says of me, I think you may have been mistaking our city leaders. They do have occasion to think of cutting costs rather than taxing and spending more. That occasion comes when the discussion is law enforcement. When any opportunity to cut some money from the police, they tend to be all over it. Or more accurately, if a budget needs some trimming, law enforcement is the first on the block. That's a good point. They do cut spending where they shouldn't. One of the problems with the city government and its increased spending is the growth of just hiring more of their own kind. They all have large staffs and assistant chiefs of staff and third shift leader and the director of Happy Thoughts. And I mean, it's just too big of a government.
Right.
City government is just too big, which is another reason the Democrats keep winning. Because the Democrats are taken care of by the large city government base that they've helped establish. On that note, I'll take a time out.
But first, I'm going to tell you about our friends at North American Banking Company, who rely on one simple philosophy, and that's this. It's banking done differently. And you do get that feeling anytime that you walk into any one of their 6 Twin Cities locations. It doesn't matter whether it's Roseville, 50th in France, Hastings, Woodbury, Shoreview, and Maple Grove. They've had that philosophy since 1998 when they made a promise to deliver a better banking experience for their customers where you know your banker, and of course they know you. And while a lot has changed since then, boy I'll say, this commitment to being a true community bank in the Twin Cities, well, that has not. And they are locally owned and operated. Here's why that's important. That means loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities. They are not sent out of state. So this helps all you business owners solve problems quickly and also expand your business with confidence. And they do offer all of the same online and mobile banking options as the other big banks, but the key difference is you're going to get the unparalleled service of a community bank. So check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more. Once again, it's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender.
It's time to play Love in a Hardware Store.
So we're debating off the air like we always do, and I just innocently clicked over to Give Minnesota MN, the frontline support foundation we're doing here on GL. And since Mike Schoonover was on, 40 minutes ago?
Something like that.
We've jumped from $325 to $1,125. Anonymous 326 minutes ago. Hans, hats off to you, my friend.
Thanks,
you gave
Hans.
$350. Another anonymous 100. Lisa 50. Ed 100. We always say when we do this, it doesn't matter if you give us $5 or 5,000. Well, it does matter, but if you give $5, thank you, thank you, thank you. If you give 5,000, thank you.
It's worth giving the $5 just to see your name up there. If you're such a cheapskate, you just want to see your name up there.
Scooney's a powerful body man.
Yes, he is. And you know what? In honor of my main man, Matthew Mikulski, I'm going to donate $23 today.
Let's go.
That's the story we told off the air. How and where, Chris? How do you get this done? Where do you donate?
Just go to garagelogic.com. There's a gigantic banner ad right there at garagelogic.com. And then also you can go to garagelogic.com/donate to place your donation today.
Thank you, GLers. Thank you. Thank you.
Two things. One, I didn't even notice this yesterday. One of the headlines on the front page of yesterday's Minneapolis paper was, "For Trump, latest Epstein disclosures bring more political pain." Well, that isn't what I wanted to talk about yesterday, but I'm just noticing it now. Well, that's gone now. The puppet masters dangle that in front of you. That went nowhere.
Yeah.
But what I saved this from yesterday, I meant to talk about it yesterday. I don't know what sidetracked us. But there was a really interesting story full of irony. And the headline was Amazon's Retreat. It's a gut punch. And it's the story of how Amazon has withdrawn plans to build a big data center in Becker, Minnesota, on hundreds of acres that were supposed to host a multi-billion-dollar Amazon data center big enough to stanch the economic pain from the impending retirement of Xcel's massive coal plant, where a lot of people in Becker were employed. And here comes Amazon on the white horse. We're going to put up a building. You guys will be employed. Well, Amazon pulled out. Why did Amazon pull out?
Political climate,
taxes too high.
They
Taxes.
can't rely on an unreliable source of energy. As this state's activists who we've elected to legislative positions drive home the need to demonize fossil fuels, thus the closing of the coal plant, and promising to deliver wind and solar, Amazon saying, "See you later."
Wow.
We're plugging in computers here and we need electricity.
We're real business.
Off they went.
These power suppliers that just follow along blindly, whichever way the political wind blows, it's going to be to our demise. It really is. But everybody should be buying generators right now.
They wanted to build a computer infrastructure for artificial intelligence. And Becker's got about 5,200 people. It remains hopeful data centers can usher in new prosperity. Becker Public School Super Jeremy Schmidt underscored the stakes. The Sherco coal plant was responsible for $5 million of the district's $12 million annual budget. But that coal plant has to go now. Sherco has helped the city fund its essential services and schools since the 1970s. It employs more than 200 people, but Xcel is closing the plant in phases by 2030 as it builds new wind, solar, battery, and natural gas. Wrong, Xcel. You're just... To ease the economic loss in Becker, Xcel state and local officials have tried to recruit a new large business in a changing energy landscape. And XL initially planned to build an $800 million gas plant in Becker, but dropped that idea. It's now building more renewable power sources and a smaller gas plant in Lyon County. In 2022, you ready?
Okay.
Google abandoned plans for a $600 million data center in Becker. So now that's Google bailed out and Amazon bailed out. Why do you think they did? Sometimes you get a cloudy day. Sometimes it ain't windy.
Thank you, Paul Douglas.
Sometimes it's not windy. So we're abandoning everything that works to fix something that wasn't broken. And there go the jobs, there go the taxes, there goes the school support, there goes employment.
There goes the domino effect.
Amazon's purchase price showed how America's tech giants will pay top dollar for land and access to electricity in a competitive industry. It also shows how they will walk away from a project if conditions change. So there again, under Cockwomble's leadership, we've lost Google and Amazon.
Oh, two small companies that aren't going anywhere.
A series of policy decisions in Minnesota made the landscape less attractive for data centers. Amazon argued its backup diesel generators at the Becker site should not need a major state permit, but state utility regulators ruled against Amazon. Some DFL legislators blocked Amazon's efforts to change that law at the state capitol. Minnesota lawmakers also agreed to scale back tax breaks for the data center industry. Legislators were debating whether to enact tougher new rules for energy and water use, among other regulations. In its May announcement, Amazon said its timeline for getting permits and its utility needs was more uncertain than originally projected. Shortly thereafter, Amazon announced plans for data center campuses in North Carolina and Pennsylvania.
Those solar farms are hideous.
They're
and
hideous.
The windmills are worse.
And they're costing jobs, they're costing school funding, they're costing infrastructure.
The lifespan is short, and then you can't get rid of them or recycle them when you're done. Oh,
We're not being governed. We're being ruled. It's not a government. It's a large, unknown organization. We don't know who the CEO is in the board of directors, but it sure as hell ain't Senate and Congress.
yeah.
Okay, Senate and Congress can't keep their mouth shut.
Yes.
I'm just trying to.
You have to formulate
I'm trying
these.
to
That was
figure
the
out-
end of the sentence.
No, I'm trying to figure out
No,
the
you're-
logistics of
you're
who,
right.
who could be hushed, because the politicians can't. They'll backstab someone or
Because everyone's part of the group.
There's something about it that's terribly theatrical.
I can't process it.
Because, and neither can I, because I think it's intended that we don't. I think it's intended that
In
we can't.
2025, how can something be that secretive when there's electronics, there's trails, there's...
I think it's a secret hiding in plain sight. I think that
Yep. And it's one large grift.
it's a secret hiding in plain sight that basically the actors who play Congress people and Senate people, they're on the take. Look at how wealthy they become. Look at how wealthy they become.
And it's all of them.
And in exchange for that wealth, they're agreeing to play this bit role in the organization, and that's why they're so clamoring to hold on to power. Look what Republicans did in the face of Trump humiliating them as individuals from time to time. They said, "Well, I'm going to hang on to this because this is a hell of a gig. I know I look like I have no balls whatsoever because I let Trump walk all over me, but so what? I'm getting rich."
And what do they all oppose? Term limits.
Oh God, yes. This is it's high. It's right in front of our face.
How come no president that we've ever had has ever given us the truth. I'm sorry I'm going down this route, but
Like on the last day that he's in office,
they
or
always
she or he?
promise to tell us everything they know about aliens and UFOs. They get into office, they never do. Remember what Eisenhower said in his farewell speech? Remember what JFK said, that big speech?
Yes, Eisenhower's farewell speech was magnificent. He warned of the military-industrial complex.
And then JFK doubled down on that, giving a speech about the secrecy and the secret government. What happened to him? What happened to Richard Nixon, and why? Was it just simply a lame two-bit robbery and a really poor cover-up, or was it something else? And how much was Gerald Ford involved in that all the way back to 1963? How much was the former director of the CIA involved in the cover-up, or, excuse me, the investigation of JFK's murder? I mean, it goes on and on and on, every single administration right up until today.
And then George H.W. was a CIA director who became president.
Yeah. Yeah.
May I ask a dumb question to help you answer that
There's
question?
no dumb questions. We're off on a tangent.
We are so far off the
Chris
rails.
is pretty good at those.
Up until July of 2024 in Pennsylvania, in Butler, Pennsylvania, was the last attempted assassination on either a sitting president or a campaigning president who was a former president. Was it Reagan?
I think so.
Yes.
And then before that was the previous one, JFK.
Ford
was shot at.
Lame attempts, but Ford, yeah.
My point being, this is probably why nobody is trying to be outspoken, right? Because the number one thing is they would like to remain living.
Mm-hmm.
So do you include in the assassination attempts Bush with the guy with the shoes? That
Well, that was a
thrown
little
out?
different.
That was brilliant.
It's more of a toe fungus.
He was
Bring it
dodging
on. Bring it on.
with a smile.
He looked like he was fielding a hot ground ball.
But it's, Chris,
with the shoe.
You bring up an interesting point, because these politicians, they're more than willing to go after each other on any little thing. Anything that keeps us, the American public, bickering with each other,
Distracted,
fighting with each other, while they remain in power, ruling over us.
Mm-hmm. How you doing, Eisenhower?
Look at the tax situation we're in. We can't lift a leg and let a popcorn fart out without being taxed on it.
I have read.
I think I could.
I've read quite a bit, and I watched what I thought was a very good film on John Wilkes Booth.
Yeah.
Not a film; it was a series. One of these streaming series,
like a documentary.
And I had no inkling watching that, or I developed no feeling that someone was running Lincoln. I thought Lincoln was a hell of a guy, and I thought he was his own guy, and he was trying to do what was right, and he did. He faced obstacles. But in other words, I guess I'm answering my own question. How far back will I go before I believe someone else took over? I don't think there was an unknown force running things when Lincoln was president.
You think the Booth gang, the 3 or 4 guys they were just on their own?
They were just angry about the Confederacy losing its individuality and identity.
And now I'm going to apologize to everybody that's really good at history. I'm just a novice. But let's bounce ahead to the start of World War I, when these countries were eager to go to war, but they didn't have a reason, and then a guy gets killed. And next thing you know, WW won.
Well,
could that be?
Plus, what wasn't the Lusitania taken down full of Americans?
Let's bounce ahead to WW2, and it seems like we should have been well aware that Japan was about to attack with everything that was going on between the two countries.
Well, Churchill talked Roosevelt into joining the forces.
And he wanted to join before they were attacked in Hawaii. Mm-hmm. But some have said, and again, we're in tinfoil hat country here, that we allowed that attack to happen. So we'd have a good excuse to jump in with both feet. So you're right. When did it start?
Well, I guess, to keep it really simple, I'm saying it didn't start with Lincoln.
Matthew?
Or the Listerine going down.
The Lusitania.
That one too.
Don't
Anyway.
you do that
I
because
didn't-
that's what
I
that's
didn't
what
do
starts
anything.
It. You better take a time out.
Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?
Germans.
I thought it was weird that a boat would be named after a mouthwash.
Forget about it. He's on a roll.
Let's talk about my friends at Awaken 180. Are you ready to live a healthy life, Joe Sushri?
I think so.
Matthew Mikulski, do you like snacks?
I love snacks.
Hey, by the way,
Healthy snacks.
did you get a sniff of those barbecue puffs I had yesterday for
they
lunch?
did. I didn't taste them, but they sure smelled good.
Here's the thing. Awaken 180 is here for you and ready to get you on the track to living a healthier lifestyle. It's a proven weight loss program. Joel, let me take care of your microphone. It's a proven weight loss program that's built for everybody. There's no medications. There's no workouts required, although obviously you can do that. There's also no fasting involved. It's eat to lose weight with a solution that's worked for over 800,000 people. And it's been at it for over 10 years, and it's clear. I've already noticed a difference in my energy level in just a short week. It's a clear daily plan. You get one-on-one weekly coaching for accountability and also adjustments. And your coach can even help pick out restaurant menu items if you know that you're going to be going out with friends and family or whatever. But it's built for any lifestyle. People that are busy, you got kids, it's going to adapt to you. You can still go on vacation, you can go out, you can tailgate, you can even have drinks and stay on that plan, Joe Sushri. But your first step is to go online to Awaken 180 Weight Loss. The number 180, awaken180weightloss.com, or give them a call directly to set up that consultation at 844-346-1800. You know what? Let me give you that number again.
Run that by me again, Reeves.
It's 844-346-1800. I'm really excited about this new adventure with Awaken180weightloss.com. Let them know that you heard about them right here. The mayor approves of Awaken 180 Weight Loss on the Garage Logic podcast.
The earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Again, that's Awaken what? No.
Only because they come to us. Well,
Page 3.
or
On the Listerine.
Yes.
only because they come to us from the traveling Lymans in Marloth Park, Mpumalanga Province, South Africa. It was on this day
Today is September 11th.
in 1835, Englishman George Featherstone reached Fort Snelling. He had been hired by the U.S. War Department to explore the geology of the upper Midwest. He continued up the Minnesota River to Lake Traverse, and in 1847, he published the book A Canoe Voyage Up the Minnesota.
Fun.
On this day,
September 11th.
And Larry King loved it. Best read I've ever had.
on this day in 18...
A real page turner.
Shut up! On this day in 1888, the
I'm not allowed to look at him anymore.
Stop it!
I'm not looking at him.
The University of Minnesota Law School opened with 32 students and one faculty member, Dean Wormer. No, it was Dean William S. Pattee. On this day,
September 11th.
in 1896, a group of Minnesota Ojibwe took a special train to see the Buffalo Bill
No.
Wild West show in Ashland, Wisconsin, which in turn caused settler colonists to come and see them. Hey, the The Ojibwe are at the tent. Let's go see them.
Oh, they probably had wonderful garb on, and they looked very fancy.
Thank you. On this day,
September 11th.
In 1900, how strong was the Galveston, Texas hurricane of 1900?
How strong was it?
The remnants of the storm, holy mackerel.
Yeah.
The remnants of the I thought these storms only happened today, because we've ruined the earth.
Right.
The remnants of that storm in 1900 dropped 6.65 inches of rain on Minnesota from September 9 to September 11.
Wow.
Holy mackerel. I should have remembered that from last year on this day.
That's crazy.
On this day,
Joe, today is September 11th.
in 1971, the first Minnesota Renaissance Festival opened at Lake Grace in Jonathan. One of the largest of its kind, the festival now operates from a permanent encampment near Shakopee.
Huzzah!
And shockingly, it's not on this day in history. Oh, I guess it wasn't Minnesota. But on this day in 2021, New York was attacked.
Nope.
No, 2001.
There
Yeah.
you go.
How did that not make that this day?
Well, this is
It's not
Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay.
On this day in Minnesota sports disappointment history.
September 11th.
Well, on this day in 1995, the Twins informed the legislative panel that the Metrodome was obsolete. Although they never said new stadium, that was the intention.
How'd that go for you personally?
It cost me a job. On this day,
Career ending.
September 11th.
no, I was gone by then. On this day in 2010, the Gopher football team lost to South Dakota,
Oh, the Jackrabbits.
41-38.
I remember that game.
FCS, what are they? FCS.
They're the
Football
level down.
college
So like
series.
the team that they played last Saturday,
Yeah.
that's the
Those poor guys last Saturday. My
that was
God.
that was a bad game.
That was terrible. Thank you, GLers, and remember, you have every right in the world to question everything.
Please do us a favor if you have not done so already. You should join almost the 18,000 subscribers that we have on the Garage Logic YouTube channel. That's right. That number is growing each and every single day. And on that Garage Logic YouTube channel, you can watch the show every single day starting right around noon. And you can also interact with the show live. Yeah, just search Garage Logic. That's 2 words, by the way, Garage Logic on YouTube. And you can follow us along on all of our social media channels, which includes Facebook, Instagram, and X. And also, don't forget to sign up for the Daily Logician. That's an email that comes right to your inbox each and every single day. And it includes the most recent episode of the podcast. Find out more and sign up online at GarageLogic.com. And we better not wish that new mother, McLaren, a happy birthday, because we don't do that.
I'm not going to.
No, we don't do